driving it at Michigan this weekend as well. Jim Keeker, a former winner here, starts alongside Rich Vogler in number 1. In the second row, we have Jim Hettinger in a Pontiac, Mark Dismore in car 81. In the third row, Mel Kenyon and Steve Latshaw. In the fourth row, we talked about earlier, Jack Calabrese in 32, and Jim Mahoney, the fast qualifier in 93. The fastest 8 guys are inverted. Row 5, Don Jones in 51, Ronnie Schumann in 7R. And then in the sixth row, John Myers in 22, Larry Rice in 66. In the seventh row, Bob Ciccone, a past winner this season here at Raceway Park in 59, Mac McClellan in 5B. In the eighth row, Terry Winnie and Michael Lang. In the ninth row, Russ Gamester and Don Schilling. In the 10th row, Mike Mason and Jim Alvis. In the 11th row, Brian Caruso and Rick Bailey. In the 12th row, Bruce Field and Sam Eisenhower. We should have the green flag this time by.
And Vogler will be long gone. He has no traffic. This is the first time he's started in front of these races yet.
Well, let's see if he gets a good jump here. It's not going to be a good jump for Vogler. I don't think we're going to be able to see the green, but yellow come out and go down the back there. What do you think?
I don't know. Yes, it's going to come yellow.
Pretty ragged start that time. They're still racing down the backstretch, though. I don't think they saw that yellow. At least some of the guys did. Look at Calabrese. Now they get woed as they roll into turn 3. I think some of the drivers simply were not watching that yellow coming off the corner. They had the green out here at the start-finish line, and perhaps since this is a new regulation, they simply forgot about it.
Well,
Jim Keeker has a problem with his Pontiac number 6.
Going right to the inspection box.
Not sure where he's going. He's going past the push-off area. Perhaps he has no brakes on that race car.
That's very possible.
He is coasting to a stop as the crew is running down. They had high hopes for this car this evening. Keeker in the Pontiac. He won here earlier this season. Went from here to Milwaukee. Went on the big mile at Milwaukee. He won back-to-back USAC features. And perhaps it is a brake problem.
Green again.
Well, we look for a green flag this time by. Much better start this time, and here comes Vogler. Vogler, and right behind there's a car in the wall down the front straightaway. That is Don Jones in 51, but the race does continue off the second corner. Down the backstretch, side by side, battling up in front. That is number 1 Vogler, the red number 1. The blue number 81 is Mark Dismore.
There goes Jack Calabrese trying his inside move.
Jack Calabrese in the red number 32, and that is Kenyon out in front of him in the yellow 61. And down the front straightaway, Vogler leads the first lap.
But Denmore is real tight on him. You know, Denmore has been fast all night. So Rich, although he's running away from the biggest pack of the cars, Denmore's staying pretty close.
Down the backstretch, there's a look at number 32. Calabrese goes inside of the yellow number 61. He goes inside Kenyon and pulls up behind the black deuce of Latshaw.
He's working good enough to get by on the inside, and he's not quite tight enough to do it down there.
Latshaw rides in 4th spot right there in the black number 2. There's a shot down the backstretch, a gap between 2nd and 3rd.
That's Hettinger in 3rd, isn't it?
Hettinger in a Pontiac, number 85. Hettinger out of Michigan has won a lot of races in that Wolverine state with this Pontiac. But he rides in 3rd, and right behind him, he's being worked on by the black deuce of Steve Latshaw.
And right behind him is Mahoney.
Mahoney in 93, and there's Kenyon in the yellow 61. And there's a freight train down the backstretch.
The first guy that gets a break on the outside, it's a clear track, can make a pass here, but until he gets a break, it's just too slow.
We talked about the stock cars this weekend here at Raceway Park. How much can these guys draft in this racetrack in the midget?
There's a very small amount because they don't have enough body aerodynamics on these cars to make the vortex behind the cars. But you can get a little help, not much.
Well, right now, car 32, Jack Calabrese is stuck back there in, 6th position. And he continues to work on Mel Kenyon to the low side. Mel pulls up behind Mahoney. In front of Mahoney, the black number 2 is Latshaw. And there goes Calabrese now on the inside of Mahoney. Mahoney gets almost sideways right in front of Kenyon. And Kenyon bumped into him. So a lot of bumping and banging going out there. And that'll make you hold your breath.
It lets you know just how close they are when you get a little tap like that in the middle of the corner.
Now there's Steve Latshaw on the black number 2. And there's a look down the front straightaway at the gap between 2nd and 3rd. As once again, using a lot of racetrack, is Jack Calabrese.
And for some reason, that Pontiac and his car, he can work on the bottom. He's got enough horsepower to pull off the bottom. And continually moves up.
Well, he's using a lot of racetrack, but you notice we don't see the tire smoke tonight that we've seen in previous weeks. He said he changed the spring rate. He got the chassis to work last week. He was victorious to make that 2 weeks ago. And now he's up to third spot. He's up to third. Hettinger is now fourth. And all the way up to fifth is Mahoney.
Here comes Mahoney.
Look at Ciccone. Look at Bob Ciccone in that red car on the inside. The red 59 car down the backstretch. Pulled up and pulled around. Well, we couldn't see. Was that was the number 2 car? That is Latshaw is falling back. Latshaw was up to fourth at one point. Now he's fallen off the pace just a bit.
Now here's that race we had last week between Mahoney and Calabrese once again.
All right, but if they're racing together, that could really deter them from actually closing down that gap that has developed between first and second. And I think that between second and third.
Between second and third. First and second are quite a ways away. So if they're slowing themselves down, they're just hurting themselves. But I don't think so. They're both going as fast as they can.
Right now, they are going to need a yellow. There are the leaders, and there he is right there, Rich Vogler, and there is a gap between first and second. Mark Dismore rides in second. Mark, a previous winner this season in the Corvette Challenge competition. But a big gap between now first and second, another gap between second and third.
Mel Kenyon's come back up behind Mahoney again. Now he's found a little more speed, a little better groove.
10 laps down and 20 laps to go from Indianapolis Raceway Park.
You ever notice every now and then when Mahoney gets in the corner, he uses the brakes hard enough, the left front tire smokes.
That is Mel Kenyon, 7-time USAC midget champion, the yellow 61. Mahoney's the black 93, and right in front of him is that iridescent red number 32 of Jack Calabrese, who won here 2 weeks ago. Vogler is out in front. Vogler is driving the Cosworth. Vogler in the Bryant Heating and Cooling Pepsi showground from Indianapolis Raceway Park. Green flag should be displayed the next time by if Carter gets the pace car off the racetrack.
Rich is going to go for it, and he'd be long gone because he's so fast that he'd be gone. But the cars behind him now are going to have a tight race.
Right behind him is Blue 81 and Mark Dismore. So let's see if this yellow flag has given Mark new life in the feature, and he is not letting Rich pull away.
He's not letting him pull away, but as the laps go on, Rich will pull a little bit at a time, I'm sure, like he did in the start. Here comes Mel on the outside.
Well, Mel may have a better shot at Rich if he can get around Mark Dismore, but right now, Dismore may be holding Mel up just a bit as Mel tries the inside. He has a look.
He's in a good position. He's got it.
Picture perfect textbook pass, pulls to the inside, slides up in front of him, uses a lot of racetrack, but here comes Mark Dismore. He's having no... Whoa! They almost get together over in 3. And Mark is almost sideways again, and here comes Jack Calabrese, and look at those cars snake coming off the corner.
There's 100% effort here with only 5 laps to go.
Well, we saw some tire smoke that time once again as Mahoney flying hard on the brakes down the first turn. We see that gap develop between first and second. And there goes Jack Calabrese to the inside of Mark Dismore, and Calabrese almost turns her sideways.
Okay, we've got a Cosworth leading, a Volkswagen second, a Volkswagen third, and a Pontiac fourth, and then the fifth
Pontiac soon to be third. Pontiac, well, Mark Dismore sliding, a lot of tire smoke coming off the inside of that red number 32, 4 laps to go, and Dismore is still third in 81. Calabrese fourth, Mahoney is fifth.
Calabrese just isn't as fast tonight as he has been. In this slick track, you know, with more horsepower, it makes the conditions worse.
Well, he's getting a good workout. They are all manhandling those race cars out there because obviously track conditions are not optimum right now.
No, not by far.
Look at him struggling, saw at the steering wheel, back and forth. Watch Mahoney in that black car. Rides in 5th position. He is really working that steering wheel. Watch him.
Mahoney wants the outside, but he just can't get quite close enough to make it happen.
2 laps to go as your leader goes past the start-finish line. Second place is Mel Kenyon, and Mel again, it looks like will finish second here at Raceway Park.
Mahoney had a good run that time, but wasn't expecting Jack to get quite so sideways and had to get out and move up a little bit.
Well, the white flag will come by this time. There it is, and there is your leader. Vogler in a Cosworth. Second, as you indicated, Mel Kenyon in the Volkswagen. 1 lap to go, 5/8 of a mile. Slides off the second corner, heads down the backstretch, works that steering wheel.
He's not working the greatest. He's working good, but not the best.
I don't think anyone is working that well in this racetrack. Look at him work in the cockpit.
We got a wreck.
Problem over in turn 3. Mark Dismore side by side, end over end. And then Jack slides back into him. Let's check Dismore. Let's check for the movement in the cockpit. A nasty ride. The red flag, the checkered flag.
There he is.
And Dismore is moving. Vogler has won the race. The checkered flag came out with the red flag. And there is a look at the winner, Rich Vogler.